Mrs. Hewing here with another edition of Central School Book Talks. Today I'm going to talk to you about 7 of the 2019 nominated Bluestem books. So remember, if you're going to vote for your favorite Bluestem book at the end of the school year, or actually in about February or March, you'll need to make sure you have read 4 of these books, or in the next coming weeks I'll have some more books to tell you about that are the Bluestem books. So starting off today, I have Ada's Violin, the story of the recycled orchestra of Paraguay, written by Susan Hood. Now, this is a fabulous nonfiction story about Ada, who lives in a small village in Paraguay. The majority of the people in Ada's village make their money by recycling because the town itself is built on a dump. They dig through the trash every day looking for things that they can recycle. Now, Ada's still too young to do this, so most of the time she stays at home with her grandma or she goes to school. Ada's one true love, though, is music, and her entire family loves music. Her dream is to one day be able to play the violin. When a new music teacher moves to Ada's town, he offers to teach lessons, and everyone is so excited, but he quickly realizes he doesn't have enough instruments for everyone. So what this teacher does is he starts digging through the town dump too to find things he can turn into wonderful instruments for his students. Soon he creates a full orchestra full of band instruments made from trash. Now, this is a true story, and what happens as he goes on is this orchestra becomes very famous, travels around the world playing concerts on their instruments made of trash. Fabulous picture book. I think you guys are going to love it. Next up, I have Meanness Voice, written by Henna Khan. Now, in this book, Amina is just starting middle school, and she's really not sure about the transition, and she's also not sure about her friendship. It seems that her best friend isn't as close as they used to be, and her best friend's starting to hang out with some of the more popular kids in their school too. So she's just not sure about where she fits anymore. At the same time, her dad is trying to encourage her to participate in this big contest where she has to speak in front of everyone at their local mosque. Now, Amina is Muslim, and she goes to a Muslim mosque. Throughout this story, people come in and vandalize her mosque, and she just doesn't understand her place or her friendships anymore, and life is very confusing. After that, I have The City of Ember by Jane Duprat. Now, this book was kind of exciting because what it is everyone in the City of Ember lives in the dark. There is no sun in the sky. It is black all the time. You just have the electricity and the street lights to keep you lit up. But there's been all of these power failures lately where the lights go out for short periods of time while they're trying to fix the generator in the town. And everyone's worried that what happens if one day the lights go out for good and they can't get them to come back on. The 2 characters in our story, Dune and Lena, find clues that make them wonder if maybe there's a secret way out of Ember. Maybe they aren't supposed to stay there forever. And Dune and Lena start to follow these clues to see if they can find an escape from this world where everything is dark. After that, I have the book Counting Time by Melanie Conklin. Now, in this story, Time lives in San Francisco, and she loves her life there, but unfortunately her younger brother has cancer. Her family finds out about a drug trial that he could participate in that would hopefully save his life, but they have to move to New York City. Time really doesn't want to move, but she knows moving across the country could be the best thing for her brother. So as the family moves, now Time has to realize and struggle with the idea of, would she rather be back home with her friends and her grandma, or is it more important for her to stay in New York where she doesn't really know anyone, if that's the best thing for her brother? This is a great book about friendship. Next up is Diamond Willow by Helen Frost. Now, this book is about a young girl named Willow. She's 12 years old, and she loves her family's sled dogs more than anything else. They live up in Alaska. Willow wants to prove to her parents that she's old enough to take the sled dogs across the tundra to her grandma's and grandpa's house through the wilderness. Unfortunately, on one of those trips, something horrible happens and there's an accident that hurts the family's favorite sled dog. Now they've got to figure out what to do with their sled dog and whether or not they'll be able to keep him. But Willow's going to do anything she possibly can to make sure she saves her favorite pet. The next book and the last book I want to talk to you about today is called Funny Bones, Posada and His Day of the Dead Calaveras by Duncan Tonatia. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right. This is actually a nonfiction biography. It's telling you about this man here named Posada and how he came up with all of these wonderful skeleton pictures to illustrate the Day of the Dead that is celebrated in Mexico, and how he became a famous cartoonist. So it's a great biography that teaches you a little bit about a man who loved to draw pictures, and you'll also learn a little bit about the Mexican culture. So those are the first 7 books on the Bluestem list. Hopefully some of those books sound very exciting to you. Remember, in order for you to vote for your favorite Bluestem book, you have to read at least 4 of these books. So I hope you found your next book. See you next time.